All right, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Dan Pfeiffer is on the phone. This is an honor. He is, or was, the White House Communications Director under President Obama, right? Mm-hmm. And the senior advisor to the president. He's the co-host of Pod Save America, and his book is called Yes, We Still Can, Politics in the Age of Obama, Twitter, and Trump. And it's doing really well on Amazon. Let me give you the numbers. Oh my gosh, I can never use this computer right. I always am stumbling. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I did find it on here. Or here it is. It is number 2 in the state and local government category, and number 7 in the civics category, and number 13 in the state category. When you think about the fact that Amazon has more books than all the libraries in America combined. No, they've got millions of books. So when you have numbers like 2, 7, and 13, that's pretty good stuff. Dan, it's an honor to have you on our show. Dan Pfeiffer, good morning, sir.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Where are you right now?
I am at home in San Francisco.
Oh, in San Francisco. Well, thank you for getting up early to be with us. How did you get the gig at the White House? How did that happen?
Well, I had been in politics for a long time, working as a Democrat in the early 2000s, which basically means I lost a lot of races. And I found myself unemployed right at the time that Barack Obama was starting his presidential campaign back in early 2007. Went to one interview with him, and where I had never met him before, was very interested in him, but sort of skeptical at this idea that this fresh face who'd been in national politics for a minute could win the White House. Walked out within an hour, having accepted a job without knowing what my title would be, my salary would be, or when I came to Chicago where I could
Oh my gosh! Oh wow, that is kind of exciting. It must have been an exciting time.
It was. Yeah, I had felt like I had been waiting for this campaign, this moment, my entire political career. And, I didn't know he could win, but I knew I didn't want to miss this opportunity after I had met him and learned what the campaign would be about.
He was very good, and still is very good, at letting us know what he thinks. He's very good at that. Not all presidents are. So did that make your job easier?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it is easier, in some ways harder. It is always, it's easier in the sense that he's obviously a great speaker. He's a great writer. He knows what his story is. So that, so you don't have to do the building block work, but there is a challenge to working for someone who can do your job better than you. It's sort of, we used to joke a little bit like being Michael Jordan's point guard, right? He could probably, he doesn't really need you that much, but he needs someone to pass the ball to him.
Right. So did you? Yeah, okay. But with that said, I guess this is where my thoughts are going. With that said, it's still good to have somebody else talking on your behalf or communicating on your behalf, and yeah, in that regard, I'm sure you served an important function.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. Look, I was obviously with the honor and a privilege to work for him on the campaign and in the White House. I like to think that, he kept me around for a while, so I like to think he thought I did my job pretty well. The president can't do it alone. They can't be the person who says all the words, needs help, needs people amplifying, needs people doing work for them. And we were fortunate to have a really good team of loyal, smart people supporting President Obama.
It seems that there are parallels between the Obama administration and the Trump administration in leaks, for example. I mean, Obama didn't like the people that leaked, and he sort of got rid of them. Trump doesn't like the people that leak, and Trump gets rid of them publicly, and he gets chastised for it.
Well, we didn't have, there are leaks in every White House, right? That has been true as long as there have been White Houses, as long as there's been the press. I've never seen, Trump has more leaks in a week than every previous White House has had combined. He has had more leaks this morning probably than we did in all of the first term. And that says something about how that White House is run, about how, the character people decide to work, their loyalty to the president, how they feel, how loyal they feel the president is to them. And it's a pretty poisonous, everything I've read from all the books, all the articles, it seems like a pretty poisonous culture there, and that breeds leaks. And we fortunately did not have that. We weren't perfect. We had some leaks, but nothing like this.
So do you think that the president somehow sets the tone for the nation in regards to our confidence in our own selves to become whatever we want to become? I'm wondering if you think it trickles down or not.
I think it does. At some level, right? I think the president of the United States is unique in the sense that we treat them both in some ways as the head of our government, but also the head of our country, right? They're both king or queen and prime minister, to use the British example. Yeah. And I do think it has an effect. It is not, the president is almost always seen as the most admired American in polls. That has been different since President Trump was elected. I like to think and hope it's an aberration, not a new normal in how our politics works. But yeah, if a president says hateful things, or a president does things that are not thoughtful or indecent, I think that can have a trickle down effect on people. There are lots of other spheres of influence in this country and role models for people, but I think it certainly affects people.
Yeah, I think that when we look at a president as having a job to do, and then in addition to that job, he's also a leader, almost like a cheerleader for the country. In that regard, each president has had his own time. I almost said his or her. One day we'll say his or her, right?
Yeah, one time there'll be one in there.
One day we'll be saying that, but
sooner rather than later, we hope. Yeah.
But I just think that role as leader was accomplished by Mr. Obama, in that a lot of people who felt like they were still unable to achieve their greatest possibilities were finally feeling that they could. I'm not slamming Trump in any way by saying that, but I just think President Obama was a guy that was, even in your own words, didn't seem like a likely candidate.
Yeah, look, I think that was a part of the role that President Obama took seriously. And look, he understood the history-making nature of his election, right? What it said to a lot of Americans that an African-American man named Barack Hussein Obama, the mother of a white woman from Kansas and an African man from Kenya, born in Hawaii, just to make sure our current president's still up to date on that, became president of the United States. That meant something. And we constantly would meet, it changed what seemed possible for a lot of Americans. He took that very seriously and thought a lot about it in his day-to-day life, and it was part of the president he tried to be.
And I'm wondering if did that play a role in your job as far as getting that message out? That's kind of where I wanted to go with that.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. He wanted us to. It's not all. Being president is more than just like talking about tax policy or healthcare policy. And one example would be, there was a story in the Washington Post a few months after we were elected, and President Obama had come to the White House and been president. And the story was about how parents in Washington, D.C., African-American parents in Washington, D.C., had been using the example of Barack Obama with their children about the value of staying in school and doing their schoolwork and achieving the ideas that you can be president. The possibility, if he can do it, someone who raised by a single mom, you can do it as well. And President Obama saw that article and asked his staff, myself included, to invite all the kids in the article to the White House so he can meet with them to sort of drive the point home. And and so it was actually a really cool event. We brought him to the White House. They didn't know they were going to meet President Obama. We just in the White House tour.
Wow, that's exciting.
And they were just sitting in the Roosevelt room, and President Obama stuck his head in. If you could see the look on these kids' faces, that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
Sure, yeah.
And when the presidents are no longer president anymore, they immerse themselves in their community. President Jimmy Carter immersed himself back in his community to help others. Will Mr. Obama be doing the same thing, since his library is being built in Chicago and the crime rate is so high there? Is he going to be doing any kind of campaigns to try to get the crime rate and the shootings down?
Yes, his foundation and library are going to be built on the south side of Chicago, where a lot of the violence you've been talking about has happened. It's also where President Obama lived before becoming president, and he's going to be very engaged with the community there. He is currently still living in Washington, D.C. because, and this is the world that parents are just like us, which is his youngest daughter was still in high school when he left the White House. So he and First Lady Michelle Obama wanted to let her finish high school at the same high school instead of having to change schools midway through her junior year, I believe. And so he's in Chicago all the time. He's going to be very engaged with the community, both in Chicago, across the country, and frankly around the world. The idea of community empowerment and citizenship are going to be core principles of his library and foundation.
Dan, thank you for being on the show with us. I have a copy of Yes, We Still Can. If you would like it, call me, and I'll leave it here for you. The rest of us have to go buy it. I found it on Amazon. Do you want to direct us to a website?
Yes, if you go to yeswestillcanbook.com, you will find links to buy it. To learn more about the book and buy it from every place you can buy your books, including local independent bookstores, if you're interested in that, but Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, etc.
All right, excellent. All right, yeswestillcanbook.com. Dan, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
You are looking to work somewhere that treats employees like family, has a team atmosphere, and rewards your hard work. Does this sound like you? Then go to drsinstall.com. Apply today and get paid to learn a new trade while providing your family with great benefits. Visit drsinstall.com. That's drsinstall.com.
Cotton pickers, how many times have you found your job really painful because of sore and chapped hands? Now, at last, somebody has done something about this condition. Cotton Picker's Friend is on the market, a scientifically blended preparation manufactured especially for cotton pickers' hands. When used daily, helps prevent chapping, promotes healing, and, in general, keeps your hands in tip-top condition for picking cotton.
PPI.
I'm Jan Marino from Palm Garden, and we are the best. As a matter of fact, we're the best of the best. You can put us to the test, and we'll keep caring without any rest. The Ocala Star banner has a contest, you see. You can vote for Palm Garden, and you can vote for me. Go to Ocala.com. It is easy to vote. You can vote every day, so please take note. Palm Garden really is the best. As a matter of fact, we're the best of the best.
Why not serve a delicious, intimate, and very easy dinner from Honey Baked Ham of Ocala? They have about the best ham produced ever, and turkey breast or beef pot roast or pork roast.
I thought they just served whole or half hams or turkeys that you picked up at Thanksgiving or Christmas.
They have so much more. They have a cafe and do all kinds of hot and cold catering. They'll do most of the work while you get all of the credit.
Where are they?
Southwest 27th Avenue, right behind Best Buy. Give them a call at 861-0011.
You are looking to work somewhere that treats employees like family, has a team atmosphere, and rewards your hard work. Does this sound like you? Then go to drsinstall.com. Apply today and get paid to learn a new trade while providing your family with great benefits. Visit drsinstall.com. That's drsinstall.com.
Have you ever looked at a homeless person and wondered what it's like to walk in their shoes? I'm Carla with Interfaith, and we're hosting a 1-mile walk to benefit our homeless shelter and raise awareness for our homeless friends. This is a walk that will change you for good. To learn more, visit our Facebook page, Walk a Mile in My Shoes 2018, or the Interfaith website at iesmarion.org. Take a walk with me on September 1st. The person you will impact the most is you.
PPIR is a networking group formed to serve the realtor and small business community. It primarily serves the real estate and construction industry, but is open to all businesses that provide any service or product to the real estate business community. PPIR has no membership dues or fees for attendees. The watchwords are keep it simple and maximize networking time. PPIR chapters meet 3 times monthly at different locations after normal business hours. For information on this, call 352-615-9412 or go to events at ppirevents.com. PPIR, professional people in real estate.
If you're looking for some late summer color for your front yard, your backyard, your garden, or anywhere, check this week's ad at bobwinescamelliagardens.net. The entire left side of the ad is nothing but famous color for your yard, including bloomers like jasmine, ixora, African iris, plumbago, hibiscus, bird of paradise, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, gardenia, butterfly, and hummingbird plants, all at super savings late summer prices. And don't forget that tree sale. Get not 1, but 2 large trees, your choice, delivered, planted, and guaranteed for just $139. The larger the trees, the bigger the savings. All this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. You can even find his famous extra large super jumbos for instant shade trees anywhere. Get on over to Bob Wine's, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Here are today's headlines. From the source, WOCA, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that happened early yesterday morning in Silver Spring Shores. Deputies say that a man showed up at a house on Pecan Run course, asking the homeowner for help. That's when the owner saw that the man was suffering from what appeared to be a gunshot wound and called 911. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Marion County Sheriff's Office investigators are asking anyone in the community who may have any information regarding the case to call them. Police say a Florida man has died after he drove the wrong way on a causeway in the Tampa Bay area and his car flipped upside down into the water. The Clearwater Police Department says in a news release that 26-year-old Scott Anthony Wolf of Estero died yesterday morning. It says Wolf was driving a 2004 Chrysler Crossfire East in the westbound lanes on the Courtney Campbell Causeway when the crash happened at around 4 a.m. Authorities say Wolf lost control of the vehicle, which wound up in Old Tampa Bay next to the Causeway Bridge. Police say Wolf was rushed to a Tampa hospital where he died. Writer Robley Wilson, a novelist and poet whose works won numerous awards and who also was an editor and teacher, has died at his home in Orlando. He was 88 years old. His wife, writer Susan Hubbard, confirmed yesterday in an email that Wilson died on August 7th, surrounded by family, cats, books, and music. Wilson wrote 3 poetry collections, including Kingdoms of the Ordinary, and novels such as After Paradise, The World Still Melting, and Who Will Hear Your Secrets. Wilson taught creative writing at the University of Northern Iowa from 1963 to 1996 and also edited the literary magazine North American Review. In addition, he taught at the University of Iowa, Beloit College, Northwestern University, and Pitzer College. A Tallahassee judge says he will rule today on a challenge to Amendment 8 on the November ballot.
Revision 8 would take control of charter schools away from the local school board, but you won't find the word charter in the title or the ballot summary. Attorney Ron Meyer says the people behind that amendment are trying to hide their true intentions.
When such wording selections render a ballot title and summary deceptive or misleading to voters, the law requires that such proposal be removed from the ballot, regardless of the substantive merit of the proposed changes.
Prop 8 also includes term limits for school board members and mandatory civic education. Meyer told the judge those are popular ideas designed to trick the voters, like putting sparkles on a pile of mud. Rick Flagg, Tallahassee.
Unemployment is down, and the latest report from the Labor Department shows Florida continues to be a leader in job growth. The Sunshine State added 27,400 jobs last month, and Sissy Proctor at the Department of Economic Opportunity says there have been more than 200,000 new jobs over the past year.
Topping the list was leisure and hospitality, which is great news for our tourism industry. Number 2 is construction, which is strong again over the year in July.
Okaloosa and St. Johns counties now have the lowest unemployment rates in the state at just 3%. Federal documents show a University of Florida research unit killed more than 150 birds in the past 10 years to protect plant science work. The Gainesville Sun reported yesterday that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service documents show that 47 of the birds killed by gunfire were sandhill cranes and 105 of them were ring-billed gulls. The sandhill is designated by the state as a threatened species. The gulls are not considered endangered or threatened. The university's plant science research and education unit allows researchers to study new crops and growing techniques. Projects at the unit include crops like citrus, watermelon, and peanuts. Officials say the cranes and gulls had damaged or eaten crops growing for research. The university is working on new, non-lethal techniques to keep the birds away. 2 people escaped injury